Hey, this is Liz from People I Think Are Cool, a bi-weekly podcast where I interview my favorite creatives from across the globe. If you're looking for a dose of creative inspiration, then go to peopleithinkarecool.com or subscribe to People I Think Are Cool on iTunes and Stitcher.
You like film, from cult to classic, from blockbuster to B-movies. And there just isn't that one place with all the fan fervor and passion that's covering the kind of mad, diverse brilliance that you love.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
ITMODmini.com is that fan-built movie nirvana just for you, featuring the sweet, sweet writings of the wife dork herself. ITMODmini.com. Go there. Be the best you can be.
You are listening to the In the Mouth of Dorkness podcast, the official podcast of the Alamo Drafthouse, Winchester.
Welcome to another edition of the ITMODcast podcast. Joining us is Brian Young, the Turtle Dork.
Hello, everybody.
And also joining us is Lisa Gullickson, wife dork.
Don't say and stuff. Just say they're doing anal.
And also joining us is Brad Gullickson, mouth dork.
Ba-na-na-na-na. I got this podcast mic in my face. Ba-na-na-na-na. I'm about to record some really cool stuff. Ba-na-na-na-na. Darren, it's your turn to talk. Ba-na-na-na-na. About Shane Black and stuff.
Don't say and stuff. Just say they're doing anal.
I'm sorry, Max. And I'm your host, Darren Smith, the Disco Dork, and welcome to another edition of the ITMODcast podcast. Still awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
Max is our youngest listener, but he shouldn't be listening for a Shane Black episode because Shane Black is anything but R-rated. Hold on, PG.
He's not kid friendly.
Although we say that, he started this world writing the Monster Squad.
But I don't even
Is
think
that before
movie is
Lethal
kid-friendly.
Weapon?
Lethal Weapon's his first one.
I think they came out the same
Same
year.
1987.
Same year.
The same year. I think he wrote Monster Squad first. But my understanding is that the version that was eventually filmed by Fred Decker is very different than the screenplay that Shane Black turned in for the Monster Squad. And for a while, Shane Black talked pretty negatively about that film. Although in recent years, if you dorks out there get an opportunity to watch the documentary Wolfman's Got Nards, Shane Black is looking back quite fondly on that film. And that is really good to see for a fanboy like myself because, damn it, the Monster Squad is amazing.
It's great. It's a great movie.
Amazing, Darren.
What?
The Monster Squad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
I just got my quote. Can I do my quote now?
Yes.
I'm always frank and earnest with women. In New York, I'm frank, and in Chicago, I'm earnest.
I
so great.
love how he delivers that on the Larry
Larry
King.
King.
And his smile,
Yeah.
so funny, so
Such a dad joke.
good. And you're so happy that he's okay.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you're just, man, he's doing good now. His son's going to see that. He made it. Hennessy won. It's so good. His cheesing is just priceless. We're going to be talking about Shane Black today. And so I want to talk about my favorite Shane Black film. Can I? Can you guess what it is?
Last
Predator.
Boy Scout.
Predator.
Last Boy Scout.
Lethal
Last
Weapon.
Boy Scout, motherfucker.
It's both of those. So it's The Last Boy Scout.
Nice.
Brian knows your body. He's
See?
like Chester and what's that other guy from Dude, Where's My Car?
I've never seen that
Ooh,
movie.
I don't think I've seen.
Oh, you haven't seen Dude, Where's My Car?
That wasn't my jam when that
Yeah.
came out. Like, I just couldn't. That's not my thing. Like,
Guys.
and I know now if I go back and watch, that humor might, because is it like is that a 90s movie?
It's an early aughts
Yeah,
film.
it's early odds.
Is it?
Ashton Kutcher, Sean William Scott.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of those two guys.
Guys,
back then.
it's a gem. It's a gem. It's a real gem.
I mean, I've seen.
I'm
those
just saying
clips of
you would have
dude,
gotten my
gotta-
reference about I knowing your body.
Oh,
He knows his body.
all right.
I
Well,
know your body. Dude, Where's My Car? Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. I want to start talking back about Shane Black. What's your favorite Shane Black movie?
Oh God, let me look at his filmography. I like some of the stuff that he's done recently, but I mean,
The Nice Guys.
No, Nice Guys, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So just the way he's able to create characters and then the dynamics between those characters, the whole buddy cop thing.
Kiss
I
Kiss
think he
Bang Bang
really-
was 13 years ago.
I
Yeah,
know.
2005.
That's his more
That's
recent
insane.
stuff was 13 years ago.
That's
No,
so
no, no.
crazy.
He did The Predator.
I know, but
Yeah,
Brian just listed it under more recent stuff.
yeah. But
We're
I'm,
old men, Lisa.
but I'm a stickler for Lethal Weapon. Like I said, I love those old '80s action buddy cop movies, and for him to kind of create those iconic characters of Martin Riggs and Murtaugh, Roger Murtaugh, I think it was just he nailed it. He nailed it, especially that first one. I thought he really got the tone of those characters.
I don't think
right.
he actually wrote the screenplays for the second or third.
No, he had a story credit for the second one, but then no credits, just characters by for the third and fourth ones. But still great.
I feel like Lethal Weapon 2 is the Die Hard 2 of the Lethal Weapon franchise. It's not as great as the first one, but it's still, compared to other action movies, Lethal Weapon 2 is fucking great.
yeah.
Lethal Weapon 2 is a lot of fun. The first Lethal Weapon, which is also my favorite Shane Black, Brian,
Yeah.
despite my Monster Squad rant at the
Oh.
beginning, it has the 80s action fun, the buddy cop dynamic, but there is a more than a tinge of sadness
Yeah.
through the Riggs character, his suicidal tendencies, the loss of his wife,
Very much so.
the self-loathing,
Very much so.
and the violence is intense. It's not a kid.
It's not. It's a hard film.
Yeah, it's a hard film.
It's a really hard film, and but he's able to balance that. I mean, you get more so the comedic stuff as we get into the sequels, but I thought that first movie, and the first movie, to be honest with you, I only really think has that comedic sensibilities to it.
There's a charm to Riggs
Yes.
and the oddball pairing with Murtaugh.
Yes, absolutely.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And, Danny Glover doesn't get enough credit for Lethal Weapon because of all his reaction shots to what's happening with Riggs.
Yeah.
He cannot believe that he is paired with this psychopath
I know.
at the start of this film. And he slowly comes around.
All right, Lethal Weapon might. I think I don't know. It might be my favorite, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm still holding this grudge against Mel Gibson.
It's certainly
but Danny
not.
Glover's fucking
Yeah,
amazing. In that
Danny
movie.
Glover's amazing. It's certainly, though, not Lisa's favorite movie.
Yeah.
Oh, the first Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. What's your favorite Shane Black, Lisa?
The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
What I love about Shane Black is the dialogue, and the Nice Guys is all dialogue, and it is so wonderful. I also really like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, but it's been so long since I've seen it.
We need to
Have you
revisit.
rewatched it recently?
I have, and there's definitely some problematic stuff.
That's
that
what I was
occurs.
concerned about, because I remember there being like a...
Yeah.
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 But Shane Black, I would say, is a screenwriter and a director. Especially, we had a long conversation about The Predator, and we don't need to go into The Predator on this episode. But there are a lot of issues that we took with his screenplay in that film and his direction in that movie. But he's a dude. Like, he is a dude filmmaker.
Yeah.
And you have to reconcile with that if you want to appreciate his movies.
Yeah. So, when you first saw The Long Kiss Goodnight, were you aware of who Shane Black was at that time?
Oh yeah, and the screenplay for The Long Kiss Goodnight was a big deal. It
Yeah,
sold
that's
for
right.
$4 million. It was the largest deal at the time for a screenplay. In a lot of ways, the biggest star of that movie was Shane Black at the time. Gina Davis and Rennie Harlan were coming off of Cutthroat Island. That was a tremendous bomb. We didn't really know who Samuel Jackson was at the time. We certainly didn't know who Craig Bierko was.
Yeah.
But Shane Black, we were like, whoa, a new screenplay from the guy who made The Last Boy Scout and Lethal Weapon? Sign me up.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared for a long time until Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and he came back as director.
Yeah. 9
And
years.
yeah, like there are issues with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, but again, the dialogue is phenomenal. I mean, it is. He writes films in a way like Quentin Tarantino, where you want to get your hands on the script, you want to read those lines, and depending on who you cast to read those lines, the films can be very different in terms of quality, which I think you see in films like The Predator, for example. I don't think a lot of those guys can pull off that dialogue. And also maybe Shane Black can't pull it off either.
What are your thoughts on Shane Black in regards to his directing coupled with his writing? And as far as like his director, like with Iron Man 3, and then how he
we've only seen 4 films from him as director, right?
Yeah.
Predator, Iron Man 3,
The Nice Guys,
and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I like all of them, but the Predator. Iron Man 3 certainly feels odd in the MCU, sort of like the way Taika Waititi's Thor Ragnarok feels odd, because they are both so much a representative of the voice of the filmmaker.
Yeah.
But I like everything that's
appreciate
happening
it.
there. Yeah.
What about you, Lisa? Do you feel when you watch films that are at the very least written by Shane Black? So when you watch The Nice Guys, are you considering his directing as well? Being that even though you're so in love with the dialogue and things like that, do you care or do you pay attention to Shane Black's ability as a director?
I generally prefer when the director and the writer are the same person. You get like a truer translation of their original vision. And in the case of The Nice Guys, I think that it really, really works. But in the case of The Predator, we've already mentioned, didn't work as well. And I still like Iron Man 3, even though it has kind of a wonky auteurs touch to it. But to me, like he's going for the joke. He's going for the funny. He's not really trying to be artsy.
He's not an incredibly visual director. He as a filmmaker is there to support the screenplay, it feels like. I think The Nice Guys is probably his best looking movie, where he throws in some flourish that you haven't seen in previous films. Iron Man 3 has some elements into it that are really interesting, but sometimes I wonder, like, is that Shane Black? Is that second unit director? What's going on? Is that the CG artist happening? It's harder to see his eye in Iron Man 3, but you certainly hear his voice.
Definitely.
But, again, going back, like, what's my favorite Shane Black film? It goes back to the pairing of Richard Donner and Shane Black. Richard Donner, especially at that time, was an extremely interesting filmmaker with a really interesting eye, and having Mel Gibson and Danny Glover batting each other with Shane Black's dialogue is just it's a treat.
I remember as a kid when I was younger watching Lethal Weapon and just being not really confused but surprised that the guy who made Superman made this movie. Because when I was at that age, if Richard Donner was the director of Superman to me, like that was his claim to fame to me.
And then Lethal Weapon opens with this naked woman throwing herself from a balcony.
And the
she cannot fly.
The opening title sequence of Lethal Weapon is great to Jingle Bell Rock. I just remember thinking, like, just when they show like the font for Lethal Weapon in that like silvery blue, it just reminded me of the font from Superman, the blue when it comes out. And I'm like, oh, Richard Donner, and then show his name, like Richard Donner, and then a titty, and then a suicide. What the fuck?
What is Shane Black's deal with Christmas? Most of his films, if not all of his films, take place in the holidays. Even The Predator has a Christmas element eventually.
I don't know. I don't know that I've read, and I'm pretty sure it's out there somewhere in an interview because I'm pretty sure someone has asked that question. But I don't know that I've read the reason, and if I know what that reason is, I've forgotten it. But it's one of those things that I've come to. It's one of those little cool things that I've come to expect. Like when you watch a Sam Jackson movie, all right, I'm just waiting for him to say the F word. So when I go to a Shane Black movie, I'm looking for that Christmas setting. I don't know. It's just one of the things that's become synonymous with it.
He's kind of created like his own little genre where you look at movies like Lethal Weapon and even Die Hard around that time where, people, especially now being in December, we're going back watching a lot of Christmas movies and people are having always every year the debate, or is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It is. We all agree.
Yeah, is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie? But I think
is.
he was able to take like the action genre and by placing it during that time of the year has created, especially now being 20 20, 30 years removed from these movies, created what we call these Christmas classics, where, you know, it's not your typical Christmas type of film like It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on 34th Street, but we associate Christmas with that time. And
Well, what's so great about the Christmas setting of Lethal Weapon, you know, the California Christmas setting of all things too, is that, you know, this is a season for family, right? And here is a man who not only doesn't have a family, his family was stolen from him.
yeah,
And he wants out. And he has no interest in continuing his existence. He's just finding a time and a place to end it all.
yeah.
And then he meets Murtaugh,
So, yeah. Who's
and
a family man.
who's and has kids and a wife and the house. He's living the American dream.
yeah.
And through this ridiculous action film, Riggs finds a reason to keep going and to
Yeah.
retire that hollow point bullet to Murtaugh as a Christmas gift. To me, Lethal Weapon is a perfect Christmas movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it does thematically, it speaks to a lot of those elements, because when you look at people, especially that character of Riggs, like we talk about it all the time, like sometimes Christmas time for a lot of people can be some of the loneliest and most depressing times for people.
Suicide rate's the highest.
Yeah, and you kind of see, and within just with the confines of this movie, you see that within the character of Riggs, and to have that element of Murtaugh and the relationship that they have, especially the way that movie ends with him going to spend Christmas with his family, I think it speaks to that on a thematic level.
So then jumping over to The Long Kiss Goodnight, also being set at Christmas, it's sort of dealing with like that similar idea of a shattered family.
Well, I think you answered the question, Brad, because I think that's his deal with Shane Black and Christmas is family. Almost all of his movies deal with family. Even The Predator, there's a family there, a splintered one. Even The Nice Guys, it's a splintered family. The Long Kiss Goodnight,
Right.
a family affected by Charlie's past. So I think instead of it being just Shane Black and synonymous with Christmas, it's Shane Black synonymous with family, because Shane Black is synonymous with Christmas because Christmas is synonymous with family, and all of his films focus. Even Monster Squad is the group
Last
of kids.
Boy
It's like
Scout. Does Last Boy Scout take place at Christmas?
yes,
definitely
Satan
deals,
Claus, because his daughter drew Satan Claus.
Yeah, because I know that deals with family as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not Monster Squad though.
No.
Well, it is. There's a family there.
There is a family, but no Christmas.
Oh yeah, it's all right. But
Early
I don't
on
know.
in his career.
I guess I kind of dig that. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to watching The Long Kiss Goodnight again, and it'll be Lisa's first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I think Lisa's gonna dig it.
I think so. It looks fun.
Yeah.
Looks like plots and schemes.
It is.
Maybe there's kissing in it.
Yeah. There's kissing in it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson,
Yeah.
Gina Davis.
Brian
Yeah.
Cox, Lisa.
A dog's kissing his own asshole.
Yeah.
For a long time.
That's
That's
right.
Don't list that as one of my things. I don't want the listeners to think that I'm looking for dogs licking assholes.
Oh no, I was. I'm sorry. That's my thing.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
You always get us confused, Darren.
So alike. Yeah, you're right, B. I'm looking for. I want to say I watched this either early in the beginning of this year or the end of last year, and it had been a while at that point since I had revisited. And that movie still rocks. All the notes still hit. Like to me, the humor, like Sam Jackson, is great. It hasn't aged. The action sequences are, especially today. And we talked about this when we focused on Rennie Harlan and how he can construct the film around action and construct action set pieces, and Long Kiss Goodnight excels because of the people in the middle of these action sequences. Gina Davis is playing this woman who thinks her name's Samantha, and she thinks she's a home wife, and this other identity keeps coming back, and to see Gina Davis, how she deals with that acting wise with that duality is amazing too. And and Sam Jackson, we talked about like him being on the Larry King Show. The reason why that payoff is so good is because in the beginning, he establishes, I don't want my kid to see me as a nobody. I want to be something so he can be proud of me. And then when the course of that film and how everything escalates and his introduction to Samantha and then his introduction to Charlie and how he receives that and how ultimately he decides to, you know, just push through it so he can, you know, be there for his kid. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a perfect action movie. Like, I love that movie, and it's a good Christmas movie too. So I'm looking forward to seeing on the big screen. I'm trying to. The last time I saw it on the big screen was when it first came out.
Same.
And saw it at Union Station.
I saw it at Centerville Multiplex.
Where'd you see it at, Brian?
Rivertown.
Damn.
I like when I go to a movie, I remember. Well, I say that if the movie has an impact on me, I remember the time and place in which I first saw it.
Yeah, I can always remember like where I sat and like I remember where I sat, what theater I saw, who I saw it with, because I don't know, especially back like in the 90s.
Now,
and stuff like that.
ask me where and when I was when I first saw Suburban Commando. I don't know.
What? You saw that in theaters?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, but you saw it.
I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it didn't have the impact that The Long Kiss Goodnight did.
Gotcha. What year did that movie come out?
Suburban Commando?
Yeah.
Early 90s?
Was it awesome then?
No. Suburban Commando will not be part of our still awesome series.
Sorry, listeners. Sorry,
but you know what will?
What?
Ghost World. The Terry Zwigoff film. Tickets are now on sale.
They're on sale.
For our 6th entry in our still awesome series at the Alamo Drafthouse in Winchester, Virginia. Ghost World. That is Lisa's pick.
Yes.
Yes, I'm so excited to be sharing this movie.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen this since it first came out. I remember nothing from it except for the cast.
It's been a while. It's an early Scarlett Johansson performance. Steve Buscemi's great in the movie. If you can't join us at the Alamo Drafthouse in Winchester, Virginia, then you can pick up the Criterion Blu-ray and check that out. It's a great disc.
All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Tickets are on sale now. Tickets are still on sale for the Long Kiss Tonight. So if you haven't gotten your ticket, please do join us. If you haven't gotten anything from this episode, please understand that while sometimes, as in The Predator, Shane Black could do a miss, more often than not, he always hits, and he's doing good work in the Long Kiss Goodnight. And Renee Harlan, Gina Davis, and Samuel L. Jackson all turn in great performances, and it's a really good and fun movie, especially around this time of year. So come out and kick it with the dorks and watch a good movie. Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
And you can find him at the Turtle Dork on Twitter, at the Turtle Dork 1 on Instagram, and at Brian William Young on Facebook.
Love you too, man.
Lisa Gullickson. I love you too. She is at Sidewalk Siren and at Baked Dork on Twitter and Instagram, and also at Sidewalk Siren on Letterboxd. Brad Gullickson. I love you.
I was worried there for a second. I love you too, Darren.
You can find him at Mouth Dork on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Letterboxd, and Untap. And I am Darren Smith, the Disco Dork, on all social medias. Be on our lookout for our fistful of motherfucking Sam Jackson. And come check us out at the Alamo Drafthouse and watch Long Kiss Goodnight. It's going to do it for us. Thank you all for listening. Enjoy the rest of your week. And until next time.